Yeah, there we go. Well, good afternoon, and welcome to this week's edition of Drive Facebook Live. I'm your host, Bob Spitz. Along with me is my co-host, Tony Whistler.
Hello.
And our special guest today is our good friend, Erkan, who is one of the senior consultants of Drive and also the head of our shop business analysis unit. Welcome, Erkan.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah. Hey, you and Jim Saley have got an event coming up soon, yeah?
Yes, in fact, it's in a couple of weeks, October 1st. So we're going to have a webinar. We're going to talk about a lot of good things that shop owners could benefit from hearing from or hear about. And that's coming up.
And I see there's already 73 people registered for it, so you should have a good turnout.
Yippee, looking for more.
Yeah.
As many as we can help.
And your topic is near and dear to any small business person's heart, especially this time of year. And that's basically, where's the profit and where's the cash?
Kind of, yeah. It's about the profits and the cash, right? That's what we got.
Yeah. Yep. And as we were talking before the show, that a small business person can get confused between profit and cash. And
Yes.
they can end up at the end of the year with their accountant going, my goodness, were you profitable this year? And he's saying, I don't have any money. He goes, oh, but you're so profitable.
Yes. In many ways, actually, that's a good problem to have. At least there's profit that's being shown. But and that's
But
the
it
main
doesn't
thing.
have much liquidity.
That's right.
Yes.
But you got to have the profit before you can have the cash.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And we discussed that comes from shop owners during the year doing well, their sales are up, and they decide they want to upgrade equipment and they're going to buy things for the shop and maybe that new shop truck that they've been longing for, and they do all this with pre-taxed dollars.
Yes. Yes. And I will actually position that to being one of the more fortunate type of shop owner who at least has some profits.
Right. He's got money to spend.
Yes. He might not know it, but it's there, right?
Yeah.
And on the other hand, on the other side of the pendulum, you have some shop owners who cannot show the profit because they have not been profitable.
Right.
And in many ways, and we're going to talk a lot about this particular subject and what shop owners can do to actually be profitable and at a higher level, see the profits and know what to do with it and be aware of it. And it all goes down with one simple subject, and that is to managing by numbers. And we're going to talk quite a bit about that. And when shop owners, as any business owner should, start to manage by numbers, they see it. And if they're not profitable, they see reasons as to why not. And if they're profitable, they see reasons as to, again, why, and do more of it and become more effective in managing the profits.
Absolutely. Nice. That, and of course, learning to manage money. And as we all know, we have a very effective system for shop owners to do that by opening up multiple bank accounts.
Yes.
And basically putting the money aside and forgetting about it so that you're not spending it.
Yes.
And ending up with, are you profitable? I got no cash. That's okay. You look good on paper. The bank will lend you money.
Right.
And one of the things I wanted to say about the webinar too is it's really an all-star team because Jim Saley is one of our greatest instructors and Erkan is one of our greatest instructors. And I remember when Erkan came to Drive years and years ago, and he was a coach. And I'll just say that I recruited him to become an instructor because I knew he would be fabulous. And he is. You're a great instructor. And I'm excited to see you and Jim together because that's going to be one really great webinar. I can just feel it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I think it's important to.
I will say that, yes, you were very instrumental in, you know, putting me in a position to be more of help to our company and more so to our clients, if that's how it's perceived. But thank you.
And you
Yeah.
have that background. You're like, you have training in that as well.
Yes,
So
that's
you.
my professional background in terms of like coaching, delivering workshops. I've
Mhm.
done this across continents in different languages to multiple audiences, so I enjoy it. I don't get to do it as much because I do other things that keeps me occupied, but happy about that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I think it's important to mention that this webinar is not only open to drive clients, but anybody.
Mhm.
Anybody can attend. If you own an auto shop, you should attend this webinar because it is eye-opening and it will be educational, and you will take away from it vital data to help you in this area of profit and cash, so that you do
Absolutely.
understand the difference.
Absolutely. And I have a calling for whoever is listening to us today, or who will listen to this. Just like Bob said, you will take away a whole lot of valuable information that will be beneficial in running your business, because the goal, as it is for me and for us anytime, is whatever time you invest into these webinars or into just sort of like listening to us, we realize, I personally do, and we as a company do realize, you are giving us your most valuable asset, which is your time, right?
Mm.
And we want to make sure that we are up to the challenge and up to the task in terms of giving you value. And my personal goal with Jim will be to give you practical ideas and practical information that you could use and implement as a result immediately in your shop, that will positively affect and impact your business. So that's the goal. So whoever is out there and whoever wants to come, please do come, and I will challenge myself to make sure that we are up to the task and we give you value.
That's
Very
great.
nice.
You know, another common phenomena that we've watched over the years is a shop will expand, and the more they grow, the less money they have personally. And that's so confusing. You know, I seem to have all the pieces together now, and now where's the cash?
Right?
How come I don't have any money?
Right.
Now,
And
you, as being part of the head of the shop business analysis team, which we call the SBA, you're meeting shop owners all across the country in all different conditions, right? How many of them are you finding are struggling with cash profit?
well, to be quite honest with you, I find many who are struggling with cash. And uh, it's not because of the things that they don't know how to do. So let me sort of like give a little bit more context to this, so people who listen to us get a better understanding. Our shop business analysis is sort of like a diagnosis of a vehicle that technicians do, right? And what we do within that is we have a team of people, including data analysts, who will reach out once a shop wants to go through this process. And we go through this interview process where the data analysts collect, information from the shop owner, including the productivity, numbers, profitability, efficiency, marketing activities, sales ability, and then ultimately the current financial picture. So just like a scan tool, we scan and then we find sort of like areas that need to be improved or areas that are working well, right? And as a result, the data analysts put together this presentation. And within the presentation, the analysis happens, and you can think of this as sort of like and I use this in my presentation, sort of like a pipeline of how a business how business runs, like what type of pipelines that certain activities go through in running an automotive repair shop specifically. And you can think of this just like any business. That pipeline starts with lead generation, right? Marketing. So we go and do a very thorough analysis of your marketing activities, mostly through the online presence. So we look at certain parts of your online activity and where you are. And these days, you have to exist online, because if you don't, you really don't, really, if you don't have one.
Yeah.
And
Now, could you just expand on what you mean by online presence?
so what I mean by
What are you
that is,
looking
like,
at?
my team has in the background tools and systems that we use to analyze the online presence. And particularly what we do is that there are certain portals that are there to either generate new business, attract new customers, or other portals and activities that you use, that shop owners can use to engage with their current customers.
So you're talking about their social media presence?
Exactly. So within that new, the social media presence and their website particularly. So we talk about how they appear in their Google My Business, status, in terms of, like, if that's being effective or not. And we also talk about Yelp as a portal as well. And we do a thorough analysis, and we give information as to what they can do immediately on the spot that will increase their visibility and optimize their, rankings. So we do that. And additionally, we also look at their website and analyze it and show them and give them practical ideas that they could use on the spot to even increase that visibility and exposure, which in turn means more vehicles. So that's where it starts, right? At the pipeline. And then it would go into, you could think of, like, you could do as much as you want with lead generation. What it's going to do is it's going to make the phone ring. All right. And if you don't handle those calls incoming calls the right way, all your marketing dollars that you spent are meaningless.
Oh, absolutely.
You're
We
wasting
have an old saying that the front will either make or break your business.
Bravo, exactly. So we have tools that we use the effectiveness of that sales position, the service advisor position. So that's the next part of the analysis, which will then take us to the production area, because you generate leads, you get appointments, you inspect, and then you produce after, if you sell that shop, the business. And then in production area, we analyze the numbers, where it becomes, like, critically important to understand these numbers. And that's where I find most of our customers have issues in terms of profitability, because they're not managing by numbers. And it's mostly because most shop owners are technicians turned business owners, and they have very good understanding about fixing vehicles. But we're talking about fixing a business. And
yeah, those skills don't translate well.
Right. And you can speak to that probably very clearly and with a lot of experience. So we look at the numbers, and then in there, we show the potential that the business could make. And unfortunately, in many cases, most shops are nowhere near their potential. Yes, in a great scenario, they could be 100% billable from the potential they have. But yes, sometimes it's not easy to get there. It's a process, but it happens. We've done it for thousands of shops, or at least we've helped thousands of shops do it. And we show that difference. And once they see that, they see the potential, they understand a little bit more. And ultimately,
do you have a feel, Erkan,
I'm sorry?
do you have a feel of all the SBAs you've done, all the shop business analyses you've done? What is the average shop efficiency? Where is it sitting? Is it sitting 70%, 60%?
I can tell you within an exact bracket, it's usually between 35 and 45%.
Ouch.
Wow.
At least the ones that come to us at that stage. Now I see some who are, like, when I see 60, 65, I shouldn't be, but I'm happy, because I feel like they're doing some things right.
By
Yeah,
comparison.
because they're almost breaking even at 70%.
Yes. Yes. So we talk about those numbers and the capacity, and in many ways, really, and I use this phrase specifically, that, the most money you will ever lose as a business owner is the money you never see made.
Never see.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because you can't even tell it's not there.
Exactly. But once they see it, they see that it's there, and they're leaving it on the table. And then we talk about ideas, how that could be done. And I don't want to give the wrong impression to anybody. It's not easy, but
There's no
simple.
silver bullet.
It's simple.
Yeah.
So
right, not easy, but simple. I love that.
Right. We have identified, we have perfected the science of this in a way to show how it could get done. Unfortunately, it's not like a walk in the park. It takes work. And you know, for those shop owners who want to do this, they need to realize they need to invest time into this more than anything else to make it work, because we're
Well,
not there
that
to.
means they can't be working on cars.
Bravo.
But
Exactly.
the other thing too is the good news is I think most shop business owners, particularly shop owners, are not afraid. They don't shy away from hard work. But the
Not
thing
at
is
all.
that but when they know what they need to do, then they're like, yes. And it creates this future, this positive future for them because they go, I have something I can do here. I can get my hands around this and I can work and something great will come, which is a much better place to be. And then sitting there going, I don't know why I'm not making any money. I don't know why my business isn't doing well. I don't know what to do about it. And that is a much better place to be, I think. And that the work that you guys do over in that area is so important.
It is, and you're touching on a very important subject, Tony, if I understand it correctly. And to sort of like speak to a little bit about what we do at Shop Business Analysis, and I find myself uh, talking to shop owners, and in many ways, I admit it, even within the presentation itself, is I'm not going to give you any earth-shattering revelatory information here during this uh, presentation, and because I can't, because a lot of the things I'm going to say you intuitively know already. It's just that you can't get to doing it because you're just so busy doing everything else, right?
Right. Right.
And it's a matter of, and this is where the work is really for us. It's a matter of helping shop owners start to think differently with a different mindset. That first of all, you got to help them see that it's possible, and then make them, and then they, if they believe that it's possible, then the work will get done. Because like you say, they're never shy from working hard. But it's not just so much working hard, but it's about working smart, right, Bob? That's
Yes.
something you've said.
Yeah,
a
work
long, long
smarter,
time.
not harder.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I know, because we used to talk about this at the seminar in the old days. Is too many shop owners feel if they just worked a little bit longer and they just worked a little bit harder, they're sure they could make money. And we call that the longer and harder business plan. And
yeah.
after 5, 10, 15 years of working the longer and harder plan, they just finally throw up their hands and go, this can't be done.
Yeah.
Right.
And they give up on their dreams and they end up going to work for somebody else. And it's a shame to see that happen, because we have so much success over the last 30 years in just bringing shop owners out of the weeds and onto a path to success, because it is so doable. And Kevin Reichert, one of our great masters of shop management, is watching, and he says he's in such a different position since he met Drive.
Yeah.
So
He's great. He's
Yeah.
really
So
great.
actually, this makes me think of really the presentation I did yesterday with a client who ended up coming on board today, and I want to welcome him if he ever listens to this, or maybe he's here today. And he's upstate New York, and maybe Kevin could talk to him, we could introduce him, and he could give him some ideas, because this man is at the end of his wits. He's had the shop for like since his father had it. It's been around for more than 20 years. And you know, he's doing a whole lot of things, and he's like, okay, I don't know what to do. Like, and many things I've exposed in terms of like that during the presentation, he knew, and he's looking for answers. And at that moment, the idea is like, all right, if you let us tell you what to do, and if you're just at the end of your wit and ready to receive advice and implement that sounds right to you, things are going to change. So I know, I mean, he might have bought a new life for himself with this program, and that's at least our goal, to give it to him.
Absolutely.
And I hope it will work. And we have a very large success rate in terms of people this program working, and I'm hoping it'll work for Chuck too.
That'll be
it
great.
will.
It will.
He just has to walk the path,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He just has to walk the path.
Yeah.
You know.
In many ways, like, beyond my department, what happens internally at Drive is once a client decides to come on board, they get assigned to one of our coaching teams and to a coach with other coaches who are there to sort of like help and guide the client to these results. But in many ways, our coaches are very well equipped, trained, and experienced in terms of like providing the tools that we put together over our 30 plus years of existence, having helped thousands and thousands of shop owners. And the coaches are there to sort of like make the journey more achievable, doable, and hold people accountable. I feel like that's the biggest thing that shop owners are lacking. And this might be something I may have heard from you, Bob, that the best thing about owning your own shop is that you're the only one making the decisions. You make the decisions. But the worst thing is that you're the only one making the decisions. Nobody else
right.
has to.
That's exactly right.
And we
Yeah,
provide that as
right.
with subject matter expert trained, sometimes ex-shop owners, sometimes ex-shop employee coaches who go through our rigorous training program that will help you be put on that path.
By the way, Kevin says, give him the number of this fellow in New York and he'll call him right away.
Okay. Well,
Yep.
And
thank
that's,
you,
you know, you were speaking of our coaches and the company, and our company is based on a culture of help. And that's also true of our clients.
Oh,
Everybody's
absolutely.
very willing to help because everybody wants to see the same thing. They want to see people stop struggling, stop suffering, live great lives, raise the standards in our industry, raise the professionalism in our industry, because without our industry, the consumer has no choice but to go back to the dealer. And that's not something most of them want to do.
Yeah.
Nope.
You know, so our industry has got to survive. It's got to survive well. It is a tough industry. There's no doubt about it. As we used to like to say, it would be easy if we could get rid of two things, customers and employees. But as long as you've got them, it's a tough industry. Because really, when a shop owner opens up his own business, he's no longer in the business of fixing cars. He's in the business of handling transportation problems for people. He's in the people helping business.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
what I would say, Bob, is that's one of the things I've noticed about the clients. When our clients who have a lot of success on the program, they have that one. They're all unique. They're all unique individuals, and that's what I love about working with these guys, because they're all different people. They come from different states, different countries. They're all really unique people, but they all do have that one singular thing in common, that they genuinely want to help others.
Yeah.
And
Look at Kevin.
we have, yeah, Kevin's
Immediately on
great.
the spot. Let me help.
That's right. That's exactly right. He's done a lot to help Drive, in the sense that he's talked to other clients and given him his experience, and he does that a lot. And I have instructors who are clients. They still
Yeah,
own their
you're
business.
putting together a hell of a team in your delivery team of clients.
Yeah, we have Dan Vasquez, we have Deanna Cole, we have Chris Probst, we have Mark Bagg, we have Bob Stout coming on. We have
All
Jimmy.
successful shop owners.
They're all successful shop owners, and they now live a life where they have time that they can actually give back to the industry and help train other clients. And so that tells you how much free time they actually do have, which is fabulous for them.
Yeah. And another thing that I find talking to so many shop owners, that this is a not only that it's not an easy game, but it's a lonely game as a shop owner, right? And because of usually the background in terms of like, having worked as a technician, fixing things and figuring things out, they're problem solvers. Like they're really solving these problems, and in many ways they've been very successful by themselves solving these problems, right? But where it comes to a point, once you make that transition from fixing vehicles to the business of like helping people transport in their transportation, it becomes a different type of management. And in many ways, they try so hard on their own, so hard, and with good intentions. But in a lot of ways, that is the wrong way to go about it, if there is good help, right? That makes sense. And we are that. We really are. And like Bob, you say, our company is based on culture of help. Yes, of course, we don't do it for free, but we're not here to take your money. We're here to help.
That's right.
As we take your money, that you're willing to giving us because you see much more in return. I mean,
Yes.
program should give you much more in return than what you're paying us. And I always say to our clients, I mean, it's designed to give you whatever you're paying us as quickly as possible back, so you can stay with us. That's our only option to have you continue.
Oh, absolutely. Because the other wonderful thing, Erkan, and you're touching on it, is when a shop owner comes into the fold, becomes part of our group, he realizes, or she realizes, they're part of a very big network. And they really experience that when they come to the expo. It's a tremendous network of like-minded people who are interested in helping each other in this crazy game.
Yep.
And you suddenly don't feel alone. You suddenly do have someone you can reach out to. You can pick up the phone and call Kevin. You can pick up the phone, and if you can find John in Hawaii, you can talk to him.
He's usually on a surfboard, but I don't know. Does he take his cell phone out when he's surfing? I don't know.
I doubt it. But there are those points, and those are important points to understand. Hey, Tony, I think it's time for a station break.
I think it is.
Now, you're not going to be with me next week, are you?
I am not. You're going to have a fabulous guest host in Nathan, one of our other consultants. He'll be with you.
Oh, that's great.
But next Friday, September 27th at 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern, we'll have one of our drive employees, another great consultant, Cassandra Kroll, and Right Way Collision owners, Christy and Wade Wright. And we will be talking about the very fun and again, talking about having a social setting, right? Having people around you who are a support team. We're going to be talking about the top 20 for collision shop event that they just had this last weekend.
They had that at Dave's, right?
Dave's, that's correct. They did.
Yeah.
And I had one of the Dave's staff in one of my workshops while they were across the room having their meeting. So that was awesome. That was great. I could see him through the camera. It was fun.
By the way, Erkan, Kelly Blanford Oates is watching. She wanted to see your smile.
Oh, nice. Oh, hi, Kelly. I miss her.
Yeah. So, folks, we're inviting you to please join Erkan and Jim Saley on what day was it again?
October 1st.
Yep.
October 1st for a very
more profit,
fun,
more cash,
interesting, and hopefully profitable for you webinar on profit and cash in the automotive repair industry. All right. Tony, do you have any last words?
Nope. I will try to watch the show next Friday, although I will be in a moving van somewhere, probably in Arkansas. But we'll talk more about it when I get back.
Erkan, any parting words?
I'm looking forward to having as many people as they can join, and we're going to talk quite a bit about what we covered here in a bit more detail. And I'm ready to be of help as much as I can and enjoy myself doing it.
Fantastic.
Very nice. Very good.
Well, you're a great team member, and we appreciate you greatly. I want to wish everybody a very good afternoon and a wonderful weekend. And from all of us at Drive Facebook Live, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.